Kelly.
Chip, just your initial thoughts on the defensive problems throughout this game.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing against a team like that and a quarterback that's that special, just way too many big plays. You get them into situations where you feel comfortable. It's 3rd and long, and then all of a sudden, Drew just keeps hitting those back shoulder throws where our guys are there, but they don't make a play on the ball. It's unfortunate. When you're playing against someone as talented as him, really truly a Hall of Fame quarterback, you gotta make plays, and we didn't. And the story of the game was we had too many X plays on the defensive side of the ball, and 3 times we had an opportunity down in the red zone, and we came away with 0 points. We fumble on the 1, fumble on the 10. And we have a 4th and 1 that we don't convert. So against a good team like that, you can't do that. Both sides of the ball contributed to it.
Collins seemed to have a little bit of an up and down day, a little inaccurate from the pocket, but did some good things as well. How do you assess how he did today?
Probably the same way you just said, an up and down day. I thought there were some throws in the pocket that if we could have completed them and would have stayed on the field and kept some drives alive, I was a little better. But I also thought he did some really good things, fit some balls in there. A couple of balls to Vance McDonald were big plays to us. Try to take advantage of some of the things he did. But again, I think the story for us offensively, we fumbled on the 1, we fumbled on the 10, and then we didn't convert on a 4th and 1. There's 3 series where we're down in the red zone, we come away with 0 points, when you lose the game by 19. So.
What do you think of Juwan Harris's day?
Same thing. I think there's some things that Dwan does really well for us. But I think we got an issue with our running backs holding on to the football. So we got to do a better job of that because we're not good enough on the defensive side of the ball to turn the ball over like that. Yeah, he did. That was Dewan had been back there for us, but with Carlos down and Dewan getting a little bit more of the bulk of the carries on the offensive side of the ball, it was good to have a second returner step up, and I thought he did a real nice job, in his first action. He was really good in college, but I don't think he's returned a kick in the NFL, and today was really kind of his baptism. But what you want in a guy like that is someone that's going to hit it up in there and trust the blocking scheme, not a guy that's going to dance, and I thought he was a threat back there, so at least that's one positive from the special teams aspects that we can build on. So.
There's a play at the end of the first half, 8 seconds left, and the Saints had a shot at the end zone. Mm-hmm. All 3 of your defensive backs essentially held or tackled the Saints receivers. Is that a scenario that you guys have gone over in the past?
Well, we practice all sorts of scenarios at the end of the first half and at the end of the game, so. We got flagged for a penalty there, which was a 5-yard penalty, and then they kicked the field goal. They were in field goal range. So.
My point is it seemed to work out. I mean, they had no chance of scoring, obviously,
mm-hmm.
and they were forced to kick the field goal. I mean,
yeah.
Has that kind of crossed your mind? That's the scenario. That's what we should do in that specific scenario?
There's a lot of things we practice that cross our minds. So.
Well, with Collins' inconsistency, when he goes through the stretches where he seems to be inaccurate, or mm-hmm. is that just him losing his technique? Is it concentration?
I'd have to look at the specifics of it, but when you get into a game like that, when you're down the way we were down, all of a sudden it turned into a more throw game. So obviously, there's going to be more opportunities. I don't know how many attempts he had, but it's you get into that. It's when we get into a rhythm and we're moving the ball, both run and pass, I think we're better on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, when you're playing from behind like we were, we did have that one stretch where we went 3 and out real quick and just weren't real comfortable back there, and those are things we need to continue to work on with him.
Was Jim O'Neill in the coach's booth today?
Yes, he was.
What went into that decision?
Jimmy said he wanted to go upstairs, and I said, okay.
Do you think, are you going to consider making changes to your defensive staff this week?
Who goes upstairs?
No, to your coaching staff.
No.
So thought of Eric Armstead just having the shoulder surgery?
I don't have the information in terms of what happened to him today. I know he was out and was done. So during the course of the game, all they tell me is he's out and he could come back, or he's out for the game. I was just told he's out for the game, so I haven't had a chance to talk to the doctors about exactly what happened.
Has there been any thought of having him just?
Again, I haven't had any conversations about anything about his injury today. I don't know what the injury was today. So.
Season.
Say that again?
Just to have it taken care of for the season, so because he's been in and out.
Again, I don't know what the injury was today, so there hasn't been any conversations about anything like that. So I'm sorry, I'll get that information for you. Hopefully I'll get it for you tomorrow, okay?
Chip, how much of the struggles on defense are Jim O'Neill's fault? Is this team getting out-coached on defense?
No, I think it's everybody's fault on the defensive side, and I think we've got to do a better job of putting our players in position to make plays, and that's everybody. That's all of us. That's me. And it starts with the head coach, so I don't blame one single person for it.
Couple more.
Do you plan on making any personnel changes specifically up front in your front seven because this defense ranks dead last?
I don't know. I mean, we got to look at who's injured, who's available, and all those other things to say, hey, we're going to make a switch now. You got to know who's available and take a look at where we are. We have rotated guys. We were fortunate. We felt like to get Dorse back today. You know, we have rotated guys to our defensive line. There's not a lot of options at the inside linebacker spot. You know, we've lost Ray for the year. We've lost Navarro for the year. Aaron Lynch wasn't available today. So, you know, a lot of the decisions that are made in terms of what personnel are playing on the defensive side of the ball is really what's available to us right now. So it's, I don't think, and I think everybody that dressed played. So, you know, Tank rotated in with Brooksy and Eli at outside linebacker. You know, we've Mike Wilhoit was in there at inside linebacker, so we rotated the D-line. Tony Girardetti played today, so Ronald Blair played today. So I think it's not like guys aren't playing aren't playing defensively for us. If you're up, you're playing. So, you know, I think just with the amount of plays we're facing, they're all getting opportunities out there to show us what they can do.
Chip, at
Last one, guys.
41-23 was obviously a three-score game. You went for it on fourth down. Why didn't you opt for the field goal to make it 2 scores?
We felt like we needed a touchdown there. You know, I didn't think a field goal against Drew and what they were doing to us defensively was going to really make a dent into anything. So I thought we had to go for it at that point in time.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll bring Cap in.